Hey Carlos, let's take a look at your revision here. Much better. That's great. So yeah, this is it feels a lot better in just like the way the pendulum, like it just reacts a lot better in the swing and the forward momentum. It's not going up too much, and it just has like a really nice feel to it overall. So the only part that I'd say is right here. If we look at this spacing between here and here, like you could bring a little bit more drag to the bottom part of the arm as it goes across now, and then it would basically go into what you have here at 55. But right now it's like it's almost a little too abrupt there. I would try to keep it closer, especially in these few frames, closer to there. Maybe even like going so far as like that. Just because it's gonna give it a little bit more flexibility there. But the way it stops, that's feeling pretty good too. It's feeling really good, but I would also watch the timing of that, make sure that timing isn't too quick in that area at the end. What I mean is like that timing should be the same timing as between here and here. It just feels like it's a little quicker in the end part. Right there, so it makes it feel like it's kind of abrupt in that ending. But you know what? That's not that big of a deal. Like overall, I think what you have is looking really good, and so I would just double check that timing. If that timing is the same, then don't worry about it too much. I think it looks good. It's really just kind of loosening that part up at the end. Overall, great stuff though. It looks really good. Good revision. I love seeing those. Okay, so good stuff on your planning. Let's take a look at Taylor jumping through the hoop. Nice. Cool. Okay, good. Nice and simple. I like the overall action that you're putting in here. I think that's working really well. And so let's go over like what exactly is happening here with your character. So we have this jump here, and the character jumps off through the hoop. And I think that timing here is really nice, like as your character jumps through the hoop. I think that's working really well. Now what we need to establish here is that like there's no, well, you have the contact here on that landing, on each end of that landing. But what we need to establish, and what I'm kind of unclear of, is this landing controlled, or is it like basically Taylor jumps through the hoop and lands out of control? Now, if that's the case, then we could get a lot more out of that out of control fall as your character comes through here. Like there can even be some spin or something like that as your character is like rolling and like basically like rolls to a stop like a bouncing ball would. And of course that's going to affect what the tail is doing and everything. But if you're going for that, then that's what I would do. If you're going for your character jumps to the hoop and kind of messes up on the land, then I would add rolling, and I would add basically turn that into like a ball bounce, just completely out of control, and rolls to a stop. and maybe like corrects himself at the end, like with a little bit of a bounce. But we don't want to get too overcomplicated with it either. So if that's not what you're going for, then for each jump here, like you have that contact on the landing, but we want to see just like a little bit more settle because it's such a big jump. There should be a bit more settle in this landing here. So it doesn't go from complete contact. I like that you have the contact here. That's really good. But then it goes directly into that squash frame. And there should be just like a little bit more of a transition, maybe like one or two frames in between here of showing that squash going into that stretch. And then the same sort of thing, that stretch or that squash goes back into that stretch. So here then the next frame over we would bring it back to neutral, and then we would have that, the next frame after that we would have that contact. And here, like you're bringing that contact, it's almost like you're having it happen in the air, and it kind of takes away the purpose of having that squash and stretch, because the squash and stretch, the purpose of it is to show that transfer of weight. And if it happens down there, then we're not really going to see it. So so yeah, that's what I'd say here, is like we really want to see that. Maybe give it a little bit more hang time in the air in this first bounce. Right now, just because it feels very abrupt. And then the second one, it's the same note, like we want that contact frame on the out, but because they're quicker jumps, maybe we don't need to see that transfer between those two. We can go a little quicker without those. And then you know, again, if your character is like correcting themselves, then it's okay not to have the contact on every single one, because their footing is off and they're not going to get that footing correctly. So and then one more thing in the beginning, you can have just like a little bit more of an anticipation. So like basically your character goes up before they go down. And then here, this is where we definitely want to see a bigger contact frame there. So the next frame, we want to see that stretch frame there. And the tail, so right here, I like that you're keeping it pretty subdued. And, you know, I feel like maybe you could get just like a little bit of a anticipation with the tail in this beginning part. Like it does, like, you know, just something really simple and quick through there before that jump. And then as it comes up, you want to bring it with, so if this is a contact frame, it's going to be, sorry, I'm making a mess there, but it's going to be like that, and then like that, and then you have a really nice arc there. But yeah, here we would want to see is like maybe a little bit more of that reversal there. And then like I feel like maybe you're going a little bit too far underneath here. Like you're wagging that tail too much, whereas it goes through here, you can bring it across through here, through there, and you could. It's like you're spending too much time making that tail wag at the end. And again, if your character's out of control, it's okay to have it wag a little bit, but you need to decide, you know, what's happening there and make it really clear to the audience. So overall, great first start. You're definitely on the right track here. It's just making sure the weight is in the right place and you're getting all those things correct. So that's it, Carlos. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks.